everybody, there must be the purpose to practice, right? So that's the other way to say the direction of the practice is very important. Why I practice? Why I do meditation? If it's not clear, even you're doing that, it's not easy to concentration, also to be concentrated, also not clear. So for example, everybody work, right? But purpose of the working, some people very clear. Some people is not clear, right? So when we sit, everybody sitting. Some people see that everybody's same. But inside, the reason why we do that can be many ways, right? So what's the purpose? What's the purpose of meditation? Danielle?
For me, I think just being able to practice, like it's a good habit and kind of like strengthening your mind and being able to like bring that back to your like normal, I guess, non-meditating life.
So means like no meditating life.
I guess actively meditating.
Huh?
Like actively, like when you're just doing your day-to-day, I don't know, going to work or something, maybe you're not actively sitting there meditating, but because you've built up the practice in your mind, you're actually focused on sitting here, I think you'll be calmer throughout your day.
Mm-hmm. Very good, okay. How about Lion? What's the purpose to meditate?
Well, I think everybody probably has their own purpose and meaning. For me, I think I found that my definition of my meaning has changed over time. I think that when I first started, I had specific problems that I was trying to address. So specific decisions to make, or specific situations to change. Now I think of it more broadly. So my meaning for meditation is to develop my character. So that's my meaning.
Beautiful. Okay, Pommy, how about you?
Well, I meditate to maintain peace and some kind of tranquility within. Like sometimes I'm confronted by this, that, and the other on a daily basis. So you can get aggravated and upset and angry to maintain peace and tranquility and whatnot. So and whatnot. So and that's how it helps me.
Yeah. The Vince?
It's changed over time. Because when I started, I was trying to be calm and not be so anxious about life. But then as I used it in different situations and developed the practice, it's more now to be clear and not to let my mind get out of control. So that I'm trying to see things as they really are instead of the craziness that's in my head.
Yeah, beautiful. Mujo?
To me, I experienced the benefits of it, so I just keep doing it.
When I start to practice meditation, especially like sitting like this, is maybe late 20, when I met Buddhism, that the first time to learn a little bit sitting, a little bit chanting, also prostration, bowing. I learned it. So, but before that, I had been struggling very much, especially my mind, my thought. I can say I really lost. I really didn't know what I really want to do. So same as I eat, same as other people, I sleep, same as other people, I working, same as other people. But inside, my purpose of my life or my direction of my life is not clear. It's very suffering to me. Very, I cannot enjoy other things more and more. At that time, I met the Buddhism, so that's why I start to practice more. I devote myself more and more, and finally I became a monk. Before I became a monk, I had to choose which life. I have the same as other people, all kind of feeling, thought, desire, and the living style becoming monk is a little different. Something I have to give up. Something usually normal people do that. So, but I have both sides. I want to practice, but some of other mind is I want to more want same as other people. But I have to choose. But deeply, I knew I cannot enjoy without knowing what I want to do clearly. If I don't know about that, even I have a good condition, good situation, the money, friend, girlfriend, or whatever, I know I'm not happy. So that's why I choose this really deeply what I want. Because as you said, always changing, right? So the different way to I say is, I think I already deeply realize everything is changing all the time. So that's why I'm a little have a fear. Even I had that, I know it's gone or change. So something I want to for sure it's never change. Then I can rely on that in my life. But I don't know what that is. So that's my, before I became a monk, I was really like, it's big difficulty to find the answer about my life, directions, purpose. So everybody said very good way. Some of you said what I want is always changing, but it's clear. Actually, again, then we learn like all what I want is always changing. So finally, we really want to know what is not really change and then go forever, something like that. There are many religions, they try to talk about that. When maybe Christianity and Buddhism, Taoism and Eastern religion and the Western religion, maybe some different concept, I think. But when Buddhism, the Shakyamuni he is founder of Buddhism. He got enlightenment, and then he tried to teach people who need that. So at that time, it's not a Buddhist religion. He has the wisdom person, so many people start to follow him. So make some community, and then later teaching community become bigger, and then people call that as Buddhism, the Buddhist. But at the beginning, he's just one person. So, but he was same as us. So when he was a layman, he was a prince, So, as you know, at that time, 2,000 years ago, 2,500 years ago, king possess everything in that country, right? All things belong to king. So his prince means he become a king later. his father has passed away, he become king. So he's, when he was born, he was very smart, good looking, and then good ability. So his father, he really expect he become a great king and in that era. But when he was born, and one of a very wisdom person came to see him and then tell his future life. He said, this prince has two ways of life. One is like if he stay in the normal life, he become a greatest king in that era, you know. But if he left the palace, become a practitioner, he became a saint, and then he's a almost great person who save all beings. So his father really, he didn't want his son left practice become a saint, you know. His father wanted he stay in his country become a greatest king. Actually, his country is not really strong country, not big, you know. At that time, I heard around maybe 20 country around India. So his country is a very small country. So always worry about the neighbor country, the strong and the big country. So his father really expect he become a great king. But when he was born, his mother passed away. After 1 week, she gave birth. The later baby, so he grew up and they already understand and realize people it must be die. So that means life is not forever. It's impermanent. So more grew up, he is not happy to stay in the palace to become a king. So slowly he grew up. He's so smart, really wisdom person, but he's not happy, and then he tried to leave his family and the palace. And his father and all people, they worry about him and then try to not him go to the forest to practice. But his mind is slowly he decided to leave. So his father was very sad and then told him, Prince, what do you want? Whatever you want, I can give you everything. Okay? This country is yours. Whatever you want, you can have everything. Why you wanna go? And then finally, Prince Shakyamuni said to his father, okay, father, great, my majesty, is it right? King, my father. Okay, if you really give what I want, I'm not leaving, I'm staying. And his father, okay, tell me, whatever you like, I will have everything. Then he said, Father, I don't want those kind of things. I really want to know answer about human being is getting old and sick and die. Tell me the answer can release from the getting old, sick and die. If you give that answer to me, I'm not leaving. I stay in the palace. His father cannot answer, right? That's the correct direction of the practice. At the beginning, our purpose of practice is calm, clear, peace, we can start like that. But you achieve that, and slowly, your mind calm and clear to see the world, you can see everything is changing. We cannot avoid getting old and sick and dying. Even you have everything. So that's in Buddha the teaching we said core four kind of suffering. Four kind of very basic. Is that right? The thing said in my English, right?
Yeah, you do.
The
The
four
Four Noble Truths.
life is suffering.
Yeah, the Four Noble Truths.
A different way that.
Yeah.
And the 근본 사고 means like a basic four kind of suffering. It means the born and getting old and sick and die.
Mhm.
That's the basic reason of suffering. And the Four Noble Way is like a suffering, the first suffering and the reason of suffering, and then the release from suffering to get the peace, something like that, right?
Mm.
But it's suffering, basic suffering. Okay, we don't have money, suffering. I don't have a partner, suffering. I'm little something, is suffering. That's kind of suffering, but basic, more essence of suffering is suffering of life is like getting old, sick, and dying. So nobody avoid that. Nobody avoid that. Someday you reach that problem. So now, young generation, young people are still healthy, and then they don't worry about so much about that. But you have many things, problems, right? Sufferings, but not really like a fear to the death or getting old. But later, soon, well, not later, soon will come. Maybe this is
He's laughing because I'm old. I'm only a little older than he is.
So that's the way said later is clear direction of Buddha teaching, clear direction of practice. Except that, if you have other purpose of a practice, it's possible. But when you get that, you will have another problem. Problem. So that's okay. First, the problem in front of you, you have to solve that. But once that you solve that, and then you can see another, your practice go deeper, more clear, then you can see life is always changing. Even good or bad things always pass by. You cannot grab it. Then it's then slowly you will have the question about who is living like this. And then you will have the more question, then what is truth? That's how the direction will be clear if you practice correctly. If you don't understand what I'm talking clearly, means you're still like on the way, some kind of your direction is not completely clear. But I don't say it's bad. First, you have to take away just in front of you some problems. Same as the lion you said, right? Same as Vincent said. But you more take away the old problem, that main problem will be appear. That's why I said basic four kind of the suffering, basic suffering. Nobody avoids that. So if you don't solve that problem, your happiness, your sadness, everything, it's passed by. It's impermanent. Okay? So that's very, very important, whatever you do, practice. But why you practice? Working, why you're working? You do something, why? The why is very clear, and the result can be clear too. But why is not clear, result is always very empty. Okay?